All right, guys, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Back with another Summer Wells video. Hope you enjoy the birds chirping and the morning scenery here in the backyard. But yeah, I just want to address some things and just give my opinion on some things that people are leaving some comments. I guess first thing before I get started, guys, I've got something funny to tell you. Remember how I was complaining about people sitting at the green light texting? It's like when the light turns green, they just sit there and text and won't go nowhere. You have to blow your horn at them. Well, I was at the gas station this morning. God love her. She, I don't know if this beats the texting at the green light story, but this woman asked me for help at the gas pump. She's like, I don't know what's going on with it. It's just being stupid, right? I said, yeah, I'll take a look at it. So I go up there, because I said, well, now what'd you do? She said, well, she said, I paid, and it says, she pulled the handle out and put it in her gas tank, and it just won't pump. God love her, she did not pick what grade. You know how you got to pick what grade of gas you want before it'll actually start pumping? God love her. She was just having a bad morning, I guess. I don't know. But she's like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. I hope her day gets better. Hope it don't end up being that kind of a day for the whole day. I know sometimes when it starts out that way, guys, and you know this, sometimes it starts out that way. Your whole day ends up being just a big cluster, you know what. So hopefully her day gets better. God love her. And luckily that's all it was. She wasn't pressing, what grade she wanted. So after she pressed regular, she was good to go. But anyway, guys, some comments being left that, Don may be getting custody back of Josie, and people are wondering how I feel about that. I was under the impression that they couldn't get none of their kids back. And it was my impression that when it came time to sign their rights away, there was a question, from what I understand, there was a question in regards to Summer, because Summer's missing and all that. And they're like, no, if they're going to sign their rights away, they're going to do it for all their kids, because it's not about any individual certain kids. It's about the living conditions at 110 Ben Hill Road. And, they're parenting. So it's all the kids. We do all the kids, or the deal's off the table. So that's how I heard that Summer Wells was included in the signing of their rights away. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's just what I heard. So there was a question in regards to whether Summer should be put on there, and I guess maybe, I don't know if it would be a supervisor, or I guess maybe one of the higher ups in DCS is like, put all the kids on there or we have no deal. So that's what I heard. But now Don, people are saying Don is claiming on Facebook that he's possibly, or maybe even getting Josie back. And people want to know how I feel about it, right? And I'm like, I was kind of blindsided when I heard people saying that, because I was just like, okay. So I will address that, and the way I feel about that, in my opinion, is, I do have some reservations about that, just because of liability issues. If they let Don and Candus readopt Josie, there's some liability issues there. If something happens, can you imagine the backlash that the state would face? You know what I mean? I would just feel more comfortable Josie going back into that environment, after he turns 18 on his own free will. Now that would be different than, the state putting him back in that environment. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I don't think that would be the best environment for Josie to be. Josie's come a long way since he's been away. I'll just put it that way. He's come a long way since he's been, in state custody. And I would hate to see everything, just relapse. I mean, and it could. I mean, who knows what Josie will do when he turns 18. I mean, he's going to be his own person. I do know that, from listening to the story, it sounds like him and Don had a bond, and Don got in trouble for talking to Josie while Josie was in DCS custody, and there was a big issue with Don getting in trouble with DCS over that. We heard Jody Sue saying that Don used to take Josie on trips, and we heard Dudley, Don's ex-co-worker, say Don used to let Josie smoke pot on the job site at like 12 or 13. And so Josie and Don definitely have a bond, I think. And I also heard that Josie doesn't particularly think too fondly of Candus, which makes sense. I can see that, because I think Josie bonded with Don better than he did with Candus, because Don was probably the fun parent, and Josie, from what I understand, back, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but back when people were saying Candus was allegedly this porch pirate stealing packages, Amazon packages and stuff off people's porches in Morristown, I heard Josie went to his caseworker and told his caseworker that he thought that was Candus doing it, his mom. So I don't think Josie really thinks too highly of Candus, in my opinion. So, like, this is just all my opinion, guys. Just all my opinion and how I feel about things. Just a little podcast here, basically telling how I feel about, some of the comments being said and answering some of the questions that people are asking me. So, I mean, how do I feel about Don Wells possibly getting Josie back? I mean, if the state gives Josie back to Don, ain't nothing I can do about it, but I think there's some liability there, because I mean, if something happens, like if we've seen where the state, we've seen other instances where parents were given unsupervised visitations. There was one, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but this is like an extreme case. I don't know what state it was in, but anyway, this guy got unsupervised visitation for a day. The DCS worker went to go pick the kids up, and he basically slammed the door in DCS worker's face, or CPS worker's face, locked the door, killed the kids, blowed the house up, and all right there in front of CPS worker, and while she was on the phone with 911. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and like I said, that's just an extreme case right there. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, some people do what they have to do to get what they want, and then they go back to being their old ways. You know what I mean? So, so ultimately, how do I feel about Josie? I mean, if it is true, if Josie's going back to Don, like I said, I have some reservations about it. I think it's got some liability issues, and the state could face like a lot of backlash if something happens. Can you imagine a backlash? I don't think it's, in my opinion, I don't think it's in Josie's best interest to go back to those people. But then again, I'm not the one in charge of everything. It's not my decision. It's, all we can do is give our opinion on it, and, it is what it is. So, I don't think personally the boys anyway, I really kind of don't think the boys were really in any danger. I think it was mainly Summer. You know, there were stories about Summer running around naked up there around a bunch of people that the Wells had up there, and you know, it's just the whole way they treated Summer versus the boys. I don't think the boys really maybe were in any danger. I think it was all just Summer. I think it was isolated to Summer. You know, and then you had Don coming on social media saying he knew that something was going to happen to Summer. I mean, it was all about Summer. Nothing about the boys, guys. Nothing about the boys. So, you know, it's this whole thing is isolated to Summer Wells. I don't think the boys are in any danger, not unless they know something that could, you know, put Don and Candus away. But I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know. But just the overall way that Don and Candus live, I don't think it, you know, in my opinion, I don't think it would be a very good environment for Josie to go back to after coming so far. You know what I mean, guys? So, all right, that's going to be basically it. Hope you enjoyed the birds chirping and the, you know, the morning environment here, the sounds of the morning. So, thanks for tuning in. Definitely let me know what you think about everything I've said. Drop your comments below, and I'll be back on there this evening. I'll be monitoring the situation. I'll be back on here this evening to do another video. I was going to try to do some videos on the LA riots and all that stuff, but you know, there's a lot of stuff now, you know, being said in the Summer Wells case that I've got to make a video on. So anyway, guys, that's it. Appreciate you for tuning in, and I'll catch you tonight.